Imagine a high-octane thriller set in the rugged wilderness of Alaska, where a plane full of convicts crashes, setting off a chain of events that should keep you on the edge of your seat. Sounds like a recipe for adrenaline-fueled fun, right? But here's where it gets controversial. The Last Frontier, Apple TV Plus's latest offering, takes this thrilling premise and somehow turns it into a tedious slog. And this is the part most people miss. It's not just slow, it's a masterclass in squandering potential. Created by John Bokenkamp and Richard DeVideo. Yes, the mind behind The Blacklist. The series kicks off with a bang, literally. A plane carrying prisoners, including some familiar faces like Johnny Knoxville and Clifton Collins Jr., crashes in Alaska. Enter U.S. Marshal Frank Rennick, Jason Clarke, who's supposed to be retiring but instead finds himself entangled in a mess involving escaped convicts, CIA secrets, and a mysterious figure named Havelock. Add in a dash of domestic drama with Frank's wife Simone Kessel and son Tate Blum, and you've got a show that promises to be Con Air meets Yellow Jackets. But does it deliver? Not even close. The pilot hints at a fast-paced, serialized procedural, the kind NBC has been chasing since The Blacklist ended. Yet, The Last Frontier feels more like a bloated 10-hour movie, stretched beyond its limits. Over-telegraphed twists, cringe-worthy military jargon, and insufferable melodrama dominate the screen, leading its talented cast, including Alfre Woodard and Haley Bennett, stranded in a sea of mediocrity. Even the special effects, which should elevate the action, are so lackluster they become a distraction. Remember the moose Frank encounters in the first episode? Bold statement. It's the most memorable part of the series, and it never appears again. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, the pacing. This show desperately needs to be a high-speed train, but it chugs along like a broken-down wagon. Episodes clock in at 55 to 60 minutes, when they should be 40, filled with unnecessary subplots that go nowhere. Frank's family drama? Deadly. Sydney's Bennett backstory with Havelock? Equally tedious. And don't get me started on the serialized mythology, a convoluted mess of government conspiracies that feels like a Russian nesting doll of MacGuffins. Archive 6, Atwater Protocol, Xenogate, it's all just noise. Controversial take. The show's biggest sin isn't its slow pace, it's its self-importance. It tries to be a gritty, serious drama, but lacks the substance to pull it off. Even the action scenes, which should be the highlight, are marred by poor CGI and repetitive stunts. Remember the car flipping scene? It's used so many times it becomes a joke. Now, let's address the wasted talent. Dallas Goldtooth, a standout from Reservation Dogs, is reduced to a sidekick who alternates between asking Frank, "What's wrong, boss?" and delivering generic wisdom. Alfre Woodard, a powerhouse, is given one of her most underwritten roles to date. And Jason Clarke? His performance is mumbly and glum, though it's hard to blame him, given the material. Here's the kicker. The pilot and finale are the only episodes worth watching. The finale sets up a second season, but for me, this was my last frontier. Thought-provoking question. Is it possible to salvage a show with such a strong premise but such poor execution? Or is The Last Frontier a cautionary tale about stretching a good idea too thin? What do you think? Is The Last Frontier a missed opportunity, or am I being too harsh? Let's debate in the comments.